Hello, bones and ghouls. It's the one who walks behind the rose, Dirk Dogma, and welcome to the Ramble About podcast with my galactic horrors, Stellar Sam,
Excuse me, I'm a whore?
horrors,
Oh, sorry. Hi, I'm a horror.
and the leader of the Chainsaw Drill team, Miss Stephanie Nails.
Like
That's me.
a Pokemon. Steph.
We are here. We are now trapped in together for at least the next, hopefully, less time than the last two. Where I'm going to be rambling about this time is, well, I wanted to do haunts in general, but I'm mostly going to focus on Halloween Horror Nights because that's the big one where we live.
Got it.
I'm assuming you all are familiar with Halloween Horror Nights.
Never
No.
heard of it.
Never once in your
No.
life.
Nope.
Biggest haunt in the world.
We don't have it here in Arkansas.
I mean, I didn't.
We're faking living in Florida.
We don't even.
I'm Skyping in from Alaska right now. No, it's not like we worked at Universal Studios for 13 years. Or at least I did.
I super didn't.
So
I say
totally
Steph
never
worked
heard.
there the least. She was only there for like a year and a half.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to dox my entire resume.
I was there for 7.
What was your employee ID number?
Yeah.
And here's my social security number and my credit card.
How many applause bucks did you get?
I like how you don't say you didn't want to do that, but literally the whole beginning of the pilot is us talking about doing spiels while working at Universal Studios.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're going to talk about HHN for a bit and just haunts in general. Are there any general questions about haunts that you guys actually have, or do you just want to get into it? You think you know enough about haunts?
I honestly think I know enough about how they worked. I've worked in the haunted houses
I was
before.
about to say you were one of the annoying people with the who's like keep moving, keep
Yes.
moving.
Yeah, no, I hate I'm just gonna get a little warning here. I'm probably gonna shit on Halloween Horror Nights a little bit because the event makes me mad. I used to like it, but then it really
It got too
like
busy, right?
it got too busy, and I hate the way they run it, and I don't like that they don't put a good cap on on the capacity. It just
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
I'm
they have like specialty nights now where they have caps.
I
But
mean that's good, but still like I'm not a fan of like going through the house and there's like
yeah, the
keep moving.
car
Like I
lines.
haven't seen the room. I don't know what's happening. And I'm negative, so
I'm middle, and I guess Steph would have to be positive then for
Eh,
us.
yeah.
I don't have a whole lot of experience with haunts.
But I say, yeah, you didn't start going till we started dragging you to them, right?
Yeah, until like a few years ago. That's pretty much it, really.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which
Yeah.
is weird because well, you're not from Ohio, but you lived in Ohio for a bit.
No, I've
I
actually.
thought you went there a lot.
I mean, I've visited Ohio, but I've never lived there.
Oh, I thought you lived there for a bit. Oh, never mind then. Because that feels like it's one of those areas where it's like there's like a farmer. It's like, oh, we got the corn. We're gonna
They,
make a haunted house out of it.
from the few times I've been there, they got a corn maze, and that's as much as you're gonna get. I mean,
Yeah.
there's probably like actual haunts there, but I wasn't going to haunts because first off, I didn't know that was a thing.
Hmm.
Like until I started being taken to these places, I'm like, oh wait, this is like an actual like temporary event that you could just go to and walk through. That's just news to me.
Hmm.
Because I guess it just never was a thing I did growing up.
Hmm.
So, because I mean, when did these haunts, I mean, you're going to discuss this, right, with the history of like HHN, but I'm curious to know like what would be the first haunt and how they became popularized, because I've never heard of these things until recently,
I've
which means I
always
lived under a rock, but
No, not even that, because I feel like haunts, especially when it comes to theme park haunts, are a little niche. Because theme parks technically are niche, and then events inside those events are niche. But
Yeah.
for haunted houses in general, I've always tried to figure out where like it started because it's really weird where it's easy for theme parks because most people I think agree that it started in Knott's Berry, which is the California theme park, which
hmm
is like an old school like they have an old Wild West town and stuff like that. But
yeah.
when it comes to generic haunts, I think that's harder to nail down because there's so many like mom and pa like we have a garage, we're gonna do our own
Yeah.
haunted house
Yeah.
type deal.
Yeah.
But
I was aware of like houses that would be really, really elaborate during Halloween, but
mm,
that was the most that I guess you could get to like haunts.
mm,
But for it to be full scale, like I guess commercialized is the thing.
yeah, and
Where
then there's even what I like to call. Do you guys know what pretzel dark rides are?
pretzel dark
No.
So remember at one of the gift shops, at one of the tribute stores they had, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's like the Haunted Mansion" because they had like the tracks on the ground. I was like, "No, it's not. It's not an Omni mover. It's a pretzel ride." So imagine kind of like a very small roller coaster, but it's not a roller coaster. It just goes on like a really small
Yeah, I think
track,
I know what you're talking
and it
about.
and it
Yeah.
drags
Oh,
you from room to room.
Yes.
that's my first interaction with haunted houses because there's one in Ocean City, Maryland
Oh,
that
okay.
I am terrified of, even still to this day.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
I've only ever been on it once, and I had a nervous breakdown.
Oh, wow. Is it because like you were
Wow.
concerned about the safety of the ride, or is it more
No,
like,
I just have really bad childhood trauma when
How
it
old
comes
were
to it.
you?
I was too old to be panicking on one of these rides. Do you guys want to hear the story before we talk about HHM?
yeah, sure.
Okay,
Sure.
so I was with my girlfriend.
Hmm?
We were all visiting, like our families were visiting Ocean City together, and I ended up. It's right in the beginning of the boardwalk. You know, Ocean City has a really long boardwalk, kind of like Atlantic City and stuff
Hmm.
like that. I think Miami has a boardwalk down here in Florida. It's like the third building. It's like information. It's like the parking lot, information center, welcome. There's a Burger King, and then it's a haunted house. And I always would walk like as far away as I could from it. So it's on the end side of the boardwalk, and then there's the beach. I would purposely walk all the way over to the right, so I never had to be near it as a kid. And I did that every time we went to Ocean City. I would always avoid it.
Interesting.
And then it was one of those things where she really wanted to get on it. She's like, "Oh, we should get on this." I'm like, "Okay, I think I can handle this. I will get on this." The only two things I remember about this ride is when I went to go get the tickets, they had a blackout window, and the guy who was running it he sharpened his fingernails like Sabretooth. He has Sabretooth fingernails,
Okay.
like the comic book character. And he pretty much put his finger out and would like tap and like slide the money in and then slide the tickets out. And he had really thick hands, like he had like workers' hands,
Oh.
but they were just. I'm like, oh fuck. And I'm trying to play it cool because I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't break. They sat me in. They put the little arm bar down. I'm like, I got this. I got this. We hit the first door. I'm like, I don't got this. I didn't see anything in this ride. I
Oh,
immediately was like,
wow.
I buckled. I'm like, fuck, I gotta close my eyes for this ride. And the worst part is, I'm not sure if all pretzel rides are like this, but it was a double decker one. So you end up going up a hill to a second floor.
Oh, that's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, it's really neat. But when you get to the second floor, there's a bit where you go outside. You can like see from like the second floor down and see like the boardwalk.
Ooh.
And I mistaken that for the end of the ride. So I saw the light. I'm like, oh, thank God, it's over. Hit through. I'm like, no, we're only halfway through. And like people were like, my family was like, open your eyes. I'm like, I can't. And then we got through, and pretty much my whole day was ruined. That was like one of the first things I did.
Oh,
And
no.
people were like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I will be. I just need to get the fuck away from this ride, like immediately."
Oh my
I
God.
was in I was in middle school, so I was probably like 13, 14, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, "No, like I don't ever want to get on this fucking ride again."
Never again.
That'll be something we do. If this ever gets a whole bunch of views, we'll do a trip to Ocean City, Maryland. You guys can record me getting on this
Sure,
ride.
we will.
I'll take y'all up there. I like Ocean City, Maryland.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah,
Get some
I
crab.
think those are like
Mm,
the originators of like before you walk through haunted houses, they
right.
had rides for them.
Actually, you telling your story reawakened a memory of mine
Hmm.
where you know how like the carnival will come in town and they'll have like set up the attractions like little rides and things,
Hmm.
but there'll be little houses like a lot of times it's the mirror mazes.
Hmm.
But there was one year I remember it was like almost like a long, I don't know what you call it, like metal structure.
Yeah.
And it was essentially a haunted house. I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know what this thing was, but I
Did you walk
remember
through it or ride through it?
you walk through it.
Okay.
So it literally was kind of like a haunt, but I didn't know that. I was just walking through the corridor and I wasn't scared. I was just confused as to like, because I was thinking it was supposed to be some kind of maze or some
Hmm.
kind of activity you go in. Because I
People were
love,
trying to scare Steph, but she's so confused. She's like, "What's going on?"
seriously, I remember looking through like the windows and see like spooky floating skulls and
Yeah.
stuff and flashing lights. I'm like, I'm like, but this is easy. I could just go from one end to the other. Like I guess I was really sold on the idea of like, oh, it's just a mirror maze, but haunted.
Hmm.
But I guess that was probably one of my earliest, if not the first time I went through a haunt.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, usually most times like state fairs and stuff like that will have spooky walkthrough or ride through
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Sometimes they're really shitty. I recently went to the Florida Central Fair, or
Mm-hmm.
the big one, the one that's like down near over here. It's over this way where we
Mm-hmm.
over here where
The
Sam
Florida
lives.
Central
Yeah,
Fairgrounds.
yeah.
Okay.
And I got on one. It was pretty much the same ride that I just explained, but much smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And there was nothing inside of it. Like you hit the doors, I'm like, it's just dark in here, and there's no like. It was just like a flashing lights every now and then, and there because there's no air and it's just a big metal box. It was
Oh,
just fucking hot.
Can I tell you? I remember going through a haunted house
Mhm,
when I was very little. It was some outdoor festival thing around, obviously around Halloween,
mhm.
and I was there with my dad, and my dad wanted to go through, which is strange. That's not something he
Just
typically
trying to scare
does.
you.
And we go into the haunted house, and it was the kind where you go in groups, and everybody has to hold hands going through like a chain,
Mhm,
um, because it's very dark in there. And I remember like my dad was ahead of me, and I'm holding some stranger's hand. I'm maybe like 9 years old, and we start going down this hallway, and I just remember very distinctly my dad's ahead of me. I can't see anything, and I'm trying to follow his hand, but my feet get caught on something. Like there's just a wall or something in front of me, but he's already gone through
mhm.
and he keeps pulling because the people in front of him
Oh
are
wait,
pulling
wait,
him
like the
along.
wall was like together.
No, well, I'm not sure I don't know what happened. I couldn't see. I just know that he's ahead of me going down this hallway pulling. He's got my hand. He's trying to pull me along. And it's like there was a half wall or something that like I couldn't get over.
oh, like a
But
step.
there was something there that I could not get over. And I remember they had to let go of my hand.
Mhm.
So I've held up the back half of the line because I don't know where they went to, and their lights are all off, and I just remember just like I was terrified. I was terrified of haunted houses when I was
Did you
little.
ever escape? How'd you get out?
No.
No,
Mm.
we're talking to her ghosts.
We're
Uh,
inside the room right now.
HHN doesn't do it a lot because they have to be wheelchair accessible and all that. But sometimes haunts will have inflatable walls,
Hmm.
so they'll be together, and you have to push yourself through to get to the
Oh,
next room.
yeah,
And obviously, like if someone comes with a wheelchair, they have to turn them off so you can just
yeah.
roll them through. But yeah, I think that might be what you're talking about. Those are really neat, but they're also very disgusting because you have to rub against everything everyone else has been
No,
rubbing
it wasn't.
against.
I wasn't being pushed on from the sides. It was an open hallway,
It was just
but
on the bottom.
it's just like something came up, and
Mm,
I don't know. Obviously, I have a child brain. I wasn't, I didn't have good cognitive skills, so like obviously it was probably just like a step, or maybe I just had my foot too far over and I was hitting the wall and the path was actually, I don't know, but yeah, something was blocking me, and I just remember that so distinctly. And I think they had to turn the lights back on, come find me and
that
get
we
me.
got a chicken in here.
Yeah, like I just
Turn
could.
them on.
I would have kept going. I just couldn't.
Hmm.
And then there's also the idea we went through dark rides, went through like fairground stuff. You didn't go to church a lot, Sam, did you?
I did not go to
You did
church.
church. I know you went to church a lot, right? When you were younger.
Occasionally, yeah.
Did hell houses? You ever do hell house?
What's a hell house?
Hell house is essentially haunted houses, but they're run by the Christian like groups.
Uh-huh.
So
Funny.
it's always one of those things where it's like, this is what happened if you do drugs and alcohol. You'll go to hell. Here, walk through this. This is what hell looks like.
That is wild of
And
a
it can
concept.
progress usually. If it's a fun church, it'll be just a haunted house. Like we're in hell, there's demons.
Yeah,
And if it's a one of the more serious ones, they'll be like, all right, this is just educational. You're trying to scare me into being perfect.
right, right.
My church did one year, and I wasn't allowed to go through it because I think I was eight,
Oh,
7, 8.
like you gotta be 13 or older
Yeah,
to.
it was run by the youth group, so it was like one of those things
Oh,
like, oh,
okay.
it's gonna be fun. And the only thing I remember about it is the front doors. It was on the side. We had a side door and a front door. The haunted house was in the side door, so that was like the youth group's entrance. They ended up locking the front door, so everyone who had to go through had to walk through to go get shit. Like if they had to, like if they forgot something in the church, they had to walk through this haunted house and then wander back
Oh
through.
my god.
And my mom had to do that, and she was like, "Nah, nah, you wait here." So I had to stand in the parking lot by myself. Well, yeah, but
I like
yeah,
the, sorry, I just like the idea of like abandon a child in the parking lot is somehow less scary than hell.
it was during the daytime.
Oh,
It
okay,
wasn't
sorry.
open yet.
Oh, I thought this was like a nighttime kind of thing.
Oh, well, the haunted house was at night, but this was during the day when like church operations were still in service.
Oh, okay. All right.
I say they weren't running a haunted house right next to the right while the church is doing like communion. This is the body of Christ.
Bodies.
Christ.
This is the brains of Christ. It's Rice Krispie treats.
No, my parents did that one time for my sister's friends where they did like the peeled grapes to be like, these are eyeballs and
Oh
spaghetti
yeah,
is guts and stuff like
Yeah.
I
that.
remember
I
that.
don't really remember what the story behind it was. I think it was about drunk driving or something like that.
Oh, yep,
And that
yep,
was like the
yep.
body destroyed of what happened.
They were showing you like what happens to your brain if it gets like protect if you are sorry, if you are wearing a helmet if you're riding a bike
Yeah, and stuff like that.
versus not, and they show you like this represents your brain.
Every educational material I've ever seen about drunk driving as a kid never like landed with me. It's only
That's why
watched.
Sam drinks and drives.
Yes, exactly. So I've got so many DUIs. No, it's watching footage from actual DUI incidents that is as an
Yeah,
adult that's made me go, I'll be smart about
I'll
this.
say exactly. Because when you actually see the actual result instead of just
Yes.
being told, you're like, oh, that's
Yeah.
all right.
All right, start your thing.
So let's start with HHN actually. Quick question. What year do you guys think overall throughout all of Universal Studios, all of them, not just the Florida part,
Hmm.
did HHN start? When was the first
I
HHN?
remember seeing this number somewhere. I'm going to guess 1994.
Okay, Steph.
When did Universal Studios open?
It depends. Are you talking the theme park or the actual studio lot?
Oh, actually, I keep forgetting California has a Universal Studios.
Yeah.
Oh, that throws my answer off. Hang on. Um, I'm actually gonna say 2004.
You are both completely wrong.
Okay.
They had one event in 1986,
Okay.
Oh, pretty early. Wow.
to the point that these are like some of the only photos that are
Oh, I
available.
love this.
These are from a person named, let me find their name. I don't want to give them, I want to give them credit. Adam on Twitter. Pretty much just a tram like haunt and like the Universal Monster stuff like that. It wasn't a full on thing. It was more of like a small spare of the moment like event, I
Right.
guess.
Because they had all these sound stages. I mean, obviously today they
They
still
still
use the
do.
sound stages, but back then they used to do a lot more filming.
Yeah.
Um, like
I think they still do a lot of filming over in California at
sorry,
least.
what I meant like did they have like outdoors like not sound stages, that's not the correct word, but like outdoor sets or was everything sound stage? Do you remember?
I'm not sure about 1986. I was not
Okay.
alive, and this is the only information I could find
Gotcha.
on
Because
it.
I vaguely, I'm reaching into my memory banks here of my trivia, but I remember vaguely that you could do tours and they'll put you in a little cart
Hmm.
and they'll like, these are the movies that are being worked on. And
Oh
I
yeah,
want to
that's the
say,
studio tram tour.
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
that bottom picture is. He's standing on top of the tram.
Oh, okay, okay.
But yeah, they did
Back
this.
before OSHA was a thing.
Pretty much.
No, that's actually where this is going to take a dark turn.
Okay, cool.
Oh, no.
19. They did it in 1986. They didn't do it again for a long time
Yeah.
because it literally ended with one person tripping and the tram running him over.
Jeez.
Good
Okay.
So they
times.
ended it pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
It did not last very
Because
long.
it's such a, like, at this time, such a good concept. Because it's like, wait a minute, we make movies. We can make sets.
We
Like,
own the monsters.
yeah.
People know our monsters. So yeah, 1986, and then I'm gonna go down real quick. They hold HHN, at least for right now in the current time, at four different theme parks. At every Universal Studios, they hold a HHN.
Hmm.
In Hollywood, they did it again in 92,
Hmm.
and then they didn't do it again until 97 to 2000. And now they do it, then they started back up in 2006, and now it goes forever.
Okay.
Okay.
And then Singapore apparently has started doing it since 2011, and they could do it every year. And then Beijing, which I always forget, Beijing apparently began back in 23, and Japan's been there since 2012. And I think that's really neat that there's so many. I said four, I meant five.
Yeah.
I forgot about Beijing. That's why when
Beijing
I
is
looked down, I'm
another
like,
one.
wait a second.
Yeah.
They actually just announced that they're going to be doing Universal Studios United Kingdom.
Oh,
Oh,
that's fun.
That's going to be coming in a little bit. So I'm
Yeah.
assuming there will be a HHN there as well.
Yeah.
then all the rides are constantly shut down for the rain.
Yeah, unfortunately. Maybe they'll, well, maybe they'll do a whole bunch of inside
You're gonna do
rides.
a bunch of simulators.
Yeah, probably.
All right, so who wants to try and guess when the actual first HHN in Florida was?
Going back to 1994.
You're going back to 94,
You can stick with 94.
I'm gonna stick with 97.
97.
Price is Right rules.
We are going back technically to 1991.
Oh,
But
that's
even
pretty
that's
early.
technically not true because they didn't call it Halloween Horror Nights.
What they call? Oh, Fright
They called
Nights.
it Fright Nights.
Okay.
A lot of, at least from what I've seen, people guess that they switched the name because the tram tour back in '86 was Halloween Horror Nights. They're like, maybe we shouldn't call it that out of the gate.
Mm, right,
I
right.
don't know if that's true or if you can even prove something like that,
Sure.
but it was only this. You know how HHN lasts like almost 2 months now?
3 nights.
Three.
It's only 3 nights. There's only one haunted house. Mostly, it was pretty much mostly just shows and specials.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, if I looked it up, give me a second. I have it written. Let me count how many shows there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Located in
8,
Amity
10, 11,
Village.
12, 13.
Huh.
Yeah, the Jaws queue. There's like 15 shows. And, like, that's
Wow.
mostly like music acts and stuff like that. But
Oh, okay. And of course, when they count shows, they're probably talking about the street performers
that
as
too.
well, instead of like
Yeah.
a sit down show.
But yeah, there was only one haunted house. This was back in 91. So pretty much right, not too long after Universal actually opened down here in Florida. The Jaws ride didn't work famously,
Oh yeah.
so they had just an open space. So like we should put something here for the Halloween event. The wildest thing about this event that I see, at least in this picture, is that they had you walk across like a glass floor, and there's a
Sure.
person under there.
Oh,
Oh,
good
that's
times.
cool.
And
That's an OSHA
so
violation.
that's no, well, not just that. Women come through with skirts, then
Oh yeah.
that
Well,
might
I
be a
believe it's a
problem.
lady under there.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, I don't know you.
Do you guys remember? You know Coney Island.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know a bunch of the rides there were just so you could look up girls' lady skirts.
I did not know that.
Did
There's
not
literally
know.
one of the funhouse things. I remember learning that about like walk through funhouses. They would have like puffs of air. You're like,
Oh,
oh, it's fun, but literally it was just a gimmick for ladies when they walk through with skirts, and they would blow their skirts up.
yeah.
Because back in the day, no one gave a shit about stuff like that. We'll talk about icons soon enough because we're going to start getting into it. Some people apparently want to argue that Beetlejuice is the first icon of HHN, which I don't believe in, honestly. But he's on a lot of the poster work.
Right.
It's not most definitely not who plays Beetlejuice again?
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. I almost said James Keaton. I'm like, that's not right. But I think it looks kind of nice. That and over here, that's the entrance. They just have a person. That's an actual. That's not a mannequin. That's actually a person just hanging in a cage to
Honestly,
scream.
they still have that tradition today. People up in cages or in high places.
Now, I'm not going to go through every single HHN. I kind of went through ones that I thought were like of note
Hmm.
because we would be here all day. There's soon to be 35 events. 35's coming up this year.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I just want to. My dumb brain's making this connection. Everybody in this photo compilation wearing stripes. What's going on?
Right.
I'm
That's
assuming there are a couple, so maybe they were like, we're gonna wear stripes.
But
And then Beetlejuice is just known for wearing
and the
stripes.
person up in the cage is striped, and then the person down there is
That's more of
wearing
like a
stripes.
traditional gown. That's not the same stripes. Theirs are vertical rather than
oh
horizontal.
my God, what if that's like a SCP where there's like every photo you take, stripes show up on your outfit and the stripes are the SCP.
it's just
Oh,
it's
that's
just not
great.
a violent SCP at all. It just fucks with your
Yeah.
This is
photos.
my favorite kinds, where it's like you're just a nuisance.
Stop it.
So we're gonna go on to just a little bit for
I
HHN2,
remember this ad.
where they have the pumpkin.
The on the left.
Yes, and it would like have thunder behind it, right?
Halloween Horror Nights at
Ooh,
Universal
we went up to
Studios.
5 days.
5 days. Could you
Oh.
imagine if HHN was only 5 days this year?
Nowadays, it would have been like 3,000 minute wait time.
Yes, it would have been crazy. But hey, HHN2, we got two haunted houses. They brought back the Dungeon of Terror, obviously. But then we got our first IP house. Do you guys know the difference between originals and IPs?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Where their IP houses are based off movies and
Yeah.
shit like that.
Licensed
Yeah,
stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
exactly. So what do you guys think was the very first IP house? Any guesses?
What year was this?
This is 1992.
92. What came out in 92? I know Friday the 13th was around. Halloween was around.
I'm not born yet, so I can't help you.
Sorry, what year was this again?
This is
1992.
1992, so we're trying to figure out the first IP house of 1992. Remember, this still
Not
hasn't been a proven concept yet. This isn't as big as it is now.
Right, so, but I also some of the horror movies that are super popular now
Mhm.
may not have been popular when they came out, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
as not a big enough audience.
Yeah, because I think horror. I am thinking like 20 plus years ago, right?
30 plus years
Oh,
ago.
don't. Yeah, because I'm thinking around the time,
Oh.
like,
I'll guess Alien.
Okay.
oh, that's a good one.
I don't know if Alien was a Universal movie or not.
No, it's owned by, it was Fox, but now it's Disney.
Okay,
um,
so I'm probably wrong, but
shoot. I'm sorry, I'm blanking out, but Jason Voorhees, the movie.
Friday the
Friday the 13th.
13th.
Thank you. Friday the 13th. I don't know why I blanked out on that.
Well, not
Um,
for rude. They don't call it Friday the 13th anymore. Now it's just the Jason universe due
okay,
to
yeah,
copyright like issues.
And my
yeah.
runner-up is Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Ooh.
Nope, you are both wrong, and
Yeah.
Sam is double wrong.
Yay.
It was The People Under the Stairs.
Oh my God.
It's such a wild one to have.
Wow. Deep
That's
cut.
that's a very. I feel like that's because I believe People Under the Stairs is owned by Universal, and it was like a new thing for them.
Right.
So they were probably trying to promote it. But imagine that being the first IP,
It's
just
just
The
a
People Under
haunted
the
house
Stairs.
full of stairs and people popping out from them.
Fun fact: if everybody remember Twister Ride It Out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the movie, if I'm remembering correctly, when it hits the drive-in, it's The Shining, I
Mm,
believe.
yeah.
They could not get the rights for The Shining for the ride, so when you watch it on the screen for the drive-in, it's actually People Under the Stairs instead.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Even though it says The Shining on the marquee, they're actually showing People Under the Stairs because
All right.
Sure.
they could get approval. But this also starts a tradition of shows. Everyone knows I talk about the shows, how there being so
Yeah.
many. But this is actually the first year. Do you guys remember Bill and Ted's Awesome Adventure Journey, whatever it's
Yeah.
called? The movie
Also,
and
the
Bogus
movie, yeah.
Journey. There's Bogus Journey and Awesome Adventure, right?
I
I
forget.
always forget which ones there is. But this is actually the first year where they had Bill and Ted like for a while they kind of had different names for it, but it's essentially just a Halloween like spectacular show where they would do parodies of everything.
Bill and Ted's Excellent
Excellent
Adventure,
Adventure,
and sequel is Bogus Journey.
Bogus Journey. Which I remember which one is the one where they face death and they keep switching the games. It's a parody
I'm
of
gonna be
that.
real, I haven't actually seen either of those movies. I know they exist.
Really, I've seen them a long time ago. I wanted to watch the third one, but I never got around to it. Mostly because every time I see Keanu Reeves without his beard, it freaks me out just a little bit. Like I don't like him without his beard. He needs it.
You react like you do on the pretzel ride.
Yes,
I'm
exactly.
not
Like, oh, I
okay.
can't do
Not
it.
okay.
No, get him a fake mustache stat. But yeah, so that became a big thing. And then there's also a really weird street experience. I want to show you guys this next slide because we have Robosaurus.
Whoa.
Wow. Awesome.
It
Yo.
looks cooler than it sounds.
Bring that back.
He's
Yeah.
come back every now and then for like anniversary years.
Robosaurus.
Robosaurus, it's a giant metal thing that looks like a giant like T-Rex, and all it does is pick up cars and drop them, and then it
That's
blows flames. It doesn't even eat the
amazing.
cars; it just kind of drops.
Still, it's like, yeah, the prop department had fun with this one.
That's
Oh
a
no, this
kaiju.
is not from Universal. They this is something that still tours.
Oh,
This
okay.
is a third party. They're like, you guys want to come to a Halloween event? And he's like, yeah, I'll bring my Robosaurus.
The robotics club got really enthusiastic about this one.
Oh my god, bring that to a Slayer concert.
Oh yeah, apparently that thing still goes around. You can still see Robosaurus from time to time
Cool.
at like state fairs and shit like that. This is also where we got. This is something they don't really do anymore, but I wish they would start doing it. They would add Halloween like feeler texture things out into the rides. So remember Earthquake? Everybody remember Earthquake?
I
Where you're
know
in
of it,
this.
I never went on it.
Did you ever get on Disaster
Yeah.
before it closed? Well, it's the same ride
Yeah.
essentially. But you know how at the end they would have like the big water come down the side of the
Yeah.
staircase?
Yeah.
They would do that, but they would put a bunch of like red dye in it. So it's like, oh, it's red water, and it would splash
Ooh,
down
cool.
and in like the Back to the Future queue, apparently they would have mad scientists run around and scare people before they get on the ride. Just to be
Ooh.
and apparently they put demon aliens in the ET queue. Which I prove that queue already scares me when I was
Yep.
younger. I don't want to experience like actual monsters running around in the
This
forest.
was an after park hours event
Yes,
still. They
this is
didn't run this like next to or at the same time.
no. HHN, at least in Florida, has always been a separate ticketed event.
Okay.
They shut the park down, bring everything out,
Yeah.
start stuff up. I believe in Japan, it is included with your ticket. You just get to stay later. It's like, oh,
Right.
so you go
Okay.
during the day, you just keep rolling
That's
around.
cool.
Yeah, can't do that here. It'd be way too busy.
Hmm.
But this is also, they don't do this anymore because I don't think there's enough space for it. In King Kong, I remember King Kong. Either y'all ever get on King Kong?
Yeah,
No.
the original. Yeah,
I
No.
only got on King Kong once when I was really little,
yeah.
and I got scared.
I'm
And
sensing a pattern.
it's a pattern. I was a real bitch when I was a little kid,
Yes, I was too.
but
That's okay. Like you're a kid and you're like, all of a sudden this unexplainable object is moving and making you
no,
know.
I was scared before I
Also,
even
I'm
got
thinking
on the
about
ride.
girls now.
No, way younger than that. I was probably like 6.
Because like things like obviously we see things now. It's like, oh yeah, special effects. I can hear like the gasket going off,
Yeah,
but it's like as a kid you're like that dinosaur's real. Like that's crazy.
Robosaurus is real.
Roboceros is real. But here's the not
Uh-huh.
scary, here's the funny part about it is I was allowed to get off the ride before we even got on it, but I had a spelling challenge. I really sucked at spelling as a kid, and
Hmm.
I had to spell the word exit, and I could not do it, even though I was walking by exit signs. I'm like, fuck, it's right there. Had a fun time once I got on the ride, but I panicked so much I forgot how to spell.
Oh my god.
So I'm like, I don't know how to spell that.
Wait. In order for you to leave the ride, you have to spell
Spell exit,
exit.
and I'm walking by exit signs, and I'm just not panic.
Obviously, if it's a medical emergency, they're gonna let you go. But like, I'd imagine there's like an emergency happening. It's
No,
like,
this is my parents. My parents are making
oh,
me do this.
Oh,
the team
The team member, team member is just a big bully. He's like, you gotta get on, kid.
spell loquacious, you little shit. Spell loquacious.
you can only get on the ambulance if you spell it right.
Backwards.
Ambulance. And you gotta pull up a mirror and hold it so you can see
Yeah.
behind you. But anyways, in Kong,
Yeah.
they had like a mini haunted house. Anyone ever see what is his name? The guy who made Evil Dead. Sam
Sam
Raimi.
Raimi.
Has anyone ever seen Sam Raimi's Dark Man?
No.
No.
There's a so pretty much Sam Raimi wanted to make Batman and they didn't give it to him. They gave it to Tim Burton. They gave it to
Yes.
Tim Burton. And he was like, fine, I'm gonna make my own Batman.
With blackjack and hookers.
Literally, it has blackjack and hookers,
Nice.
apparently, in this movie. But they gave him a mini haunted house where instead of getting on the ride for King Kong, it had like the big city and you were like above the city
I think so.
because you were on like the cable cars. They would have you instead walk on the ground, like where the facades were,
Yeah.
and they had just a kind of like a mini haunted house there, where like Darkman was
Ooh.
like
Huh.
hanging out in New York, like causing a havoc.
That sounds like walking one through one of those Christmas villages.
Yeah, exactly, but scary and spooky.
Also, I like the idea of repurposing a ride's innards
Yeah,
for a
to
Yeah.
that.
house. Yeah.
Can't really do that now because now the mummy's there and that's on the ground as opposed to
Yeah.
being hung up.
And probably dusty as all hell. They don't clean the interior of that ride.
It's all dust.
I mean, seriously, they don't. I mean, the lights are off, so you don't see it. I mean, maybe recently, since what didn't they close it down for recent renovations a few years back?
Oh, yeah,
So
but
they probably like,
slightly dusted it.
yeah, I was gonna say, but at least that's what I've been told. That I've been told to like, yeah, no, you don't. We never see this thing like with the lights on, so we have to do maintenance. And I'm like,
I actually got to get on. I got to get on it with the lights on once for like a employee night,
uh-huh.
where they specifically was like, you can get on the mummy with the lights on. I'm like,
Okay,
that's cool, but
that is cool.
Who
why?
cares?
Like that's a
um.
weird gimmick. That's pretty much the second year, but the first year of it being called HHN.
Okay.
We're gonna skip past 3 because 3 is pretty much they added a few more houses and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I want to talk about 4 because this is when we first got the official scare zones. There's always been scary stuff in the
That's
streets.
Jordan. Jerry Lee Lewis? Like actually Jerry Lee Lewis?
Yeah, he performs at 8 o'clock.
Wow.
October 15th. Jerry Lee Lewis is gonna be
All
there.
right, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine. But this is like, at least from what I could tell, like there's always been creepy like little things that would happen in the streets, but this is the first like scare zone. Everyone knows scare zones, which are pretty much just
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
outdoor haunted houses you get to walk through.
Robosaurus, bro. He's
Yeah,
there.
he was there for a good couple of years. He would just be stuck in New York, and pick up stuff and drop it.
That's such a
I'd
cool.
go look at that.
Pick up
Yeah.
cars, and I feel like you would look at it like once and be like, okay, that was fun.
Yeah, but still, it'd be so cool because like it breathes fire and it drops the car. Like I know that sounds very much like turn off your brain kind of entertainment, but like
That is monster truck. Yeah, big thing. Go.
honestly,
Ugh.
I feel and I'm pretty sure he's appeared in like Demolition Derby
Oh fuck
stuff
yeah, most
because
definitely.
he is very much like by definition like a Demolition Derby set piece. Like
I
that's so
love,
cool.
I love ET Adventure is on the map for Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah. Fun fact: my first HHN was the only reason why I ever got on Minion Mayhem because
Okay.
Minion
Oh.
Mayhem was always had a long line when it first opened.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
HHN 24. I was like, this ride's open during Halloween Horror Nights? Sure. It only had like a 10-minute wait because no one wanted to get on it. I'm like, I'll
Yeah.
go walk on this and get
Cool.
on it.
I like Minions. I
Really?
mean, I like the Minion ride. I don't give a shit about the actual Minions, but I like the but because I don't do big rides, so I
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I get entertainment where I can.
Sure. Yeah. Sorry, I just saw the fantastic world of Hanna-Barbera. I
Yeah.
forgot that existed there.
It was that before it was Jimmy Neutron, and then it
Yeah.
was that before it was Minions.
Yeah.
All right, so go over
Oh,
this map or
oh,
do.
I'm not gonna go over this
Oh,
map.
okay.
I just wanted to show that as a visual. I wanted to show you the scare zone, which is.
The Devil and his Showgirls. What's this?
Hell yeah.
I'm assuming it's just another show, probably a dance number. I would
It
assume.
is because I'm seeing here showtimes. I'd imagine that's where not Academy. I guess Academy of Villains is kind of or whatever that stadium Fear
Where Fear
Factor.
Factor is.
Yeah, that's the word.
Well, no, Fear Factor didn't exist yet.
Oh, so they didn't
This
have
is
that
still
auditorium.
no, the
Oh,
auditorium's there. This is still when it was the Wild 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 West show,
I was not aware that
and
existed.
that was the permanent home of Bill and Ted. So Bill and Ted was always there,
Oh,
and
okay,
even when it switched over to Fear Factor, it was always there. Well,
okay,
except for 1 year, but we'll get to that.
sure.
Well, 2 years, but we'll get to that. Are you still reading the
No,
map?
go ahead. Yeah, I'm just
Because I want to show
I'm breezing
you.
over it.
This is the scare zone of Hollywood
Who
Boulevard.
were those hunks of meat? Bottom left. Hello. Oh my God.
This is Horrorwood, which is just a whole bunch of just random bullshit on Hollywood Boulevard for a scare
Just
zone.
no theme here.
No,
This just looks like actual
the
like
theme is Horrorwood.
yeah.
It's Hollywood but scary.
Just looks like LA.
That's the thing.
There's needles on
You
the.
got it. I wish one day when they do any scare zone on there that at least for the event they take one of the stars on the Walk of Fame because some of them are blank still and just put like Satan or something on it just
Oh,
for like shits and
Yeah,
giggles.
they
yeah,
wouldn't do Satan, I know
Or I
that.
don't know, maybe one of the icons like Jack or
Yeah.
something like that.
absolutely.
So moving on to now HHN 5. This one I'm only putting on here for importance because this is where I believe the icons start.
Okay.
Who do you guys think? Because it's not an original icon. We'll get to that later. Who do you think is the first IP icon
I
that most people associate
remember
with?
knowing about this. It is an IP icon, you
Is
said?
IP.
And it
It
wasn't
it
Beetlejuice.
was not. I don't know. Beetlejuice was technically on the first night.
Can you tell me what year this was?
This is 1995. This is the year I was born.
I may not be familiar with the terminology. What exactly defines an icon?
That is a loaded ass
Oh,
question.
oh,
It's like the mascot who the ringmaster of the event.
Yes,
let me
essentially
They're
go.
on
that's
all the
what it is.
advertisements.
Yeah,
According to
that's
the
not always
magazine.
true.
Okay,
So icons have lost their definition over time because
sure.
some people are like will want to argue about it. It's pretty much became one of those things on internet will argue with each other. So people walked in like it doesn't fucking matter. Just enjoy like the characters type
Right,
deal.
right,
But for a while, icons were they were put on the posters, they were put on the billboards, they would
right.
advertise like like when they send characters to the news for like we're doing haunted houses, it
Yeah.
would be that character would go and do like the conversation stuff like
I
that.
think I know the answer to this. You go
Okay,
first.
Okay. I'm so sorry. Give me the year one more time.
1995.
95.
You
Oh,
would be one and a half, I think.
let's see. Um,
I'm like 90% I know the answer.
I know Sam knows the answer because she's talked about this character before.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
if you do, go ahead.
I believe it was a crypt keeper, right?
You are correct. It was the
Yeah.
Crypt
Yeah.
Keeper.
Yeah.
I just think that's really neat that they
John
somehow got him.
Cassier. I think that was his name, the actor who plays him.
Fun fact about Tales from the Crypt apparently it has a whole lot of copyright, like trademark issues.
Oh, really?
They recently got all the episodes on Shutter. You can watch them on Shutter
Ooh,
now.
okay.
So I was like, oh, that's really neat. So people are hoping now that they kind of got everyone in the same room to agree to put it on streaming, that maybe they'll release them on Blu-rays or maybe even 4K Blu-rays eventually. I doubt it, but you never know. or at least maybe reprints of the DVDs so people could still buy them.
Okay.
But yeah, they put the Crypt Keeper all this bullshit.
Nice.
The funniest thing about the Crypt Keeper being what I consider the first icon, what most people consider being the first icon, is that whenever they do like anniversary years, he always shows up slightly. Like he'll be like you know how like when they can't get like Stan Lee or somebody famous in like the movie, so they have like them in a picture frame or something like that.
Yeah.
It would be like one of those things like you'll walk through a spooky room, like oh, there's the Crypt Keeper. Like
That's
they
sweet.
put him in a little photo, and then you go through the rest of the house. The funniest thing is, at least I want to say it was HHN 20. We'll get to that one because he's a director in here because he's directing
Yeah.
the horrors. For that HHN in the scare zone, they had him there still, but he was in a director's chair and he's all directory up, and it just looks weird because Crypt Keeper is obviously like very not skinny,
Skeletal.
skeletal. Thank you. But they can't get a guy who's that skinny, so he still has the big rubber mask for the Crypt Keeper.
It's a skinny legend.
I just
The
want to point out the poster here. $22 for Florida residents.
Yeah,
I
wow.
wish it was that
Oh my
price.
they have gone up in
god.
price.
Damn.
But to be fair, it's not open as late as it was. HHN
Yeah.
back in the day was only open till like midnight
Yeah, I could
most
see
times.
7 p.m. to midnight. So
Yeah.
really, you only have it. But you had less attractions, I guess. So
Let me count the houses. Let me count the ways. We have one, two, three, four houses
okay.
for HHN on 1995,
hmm
and only two shows.
Okay, so you can probably get a couple nights and be able to do everything you
Oh, sorry,
wanted.
three shows. We have The Price is Fright and Rock of Ages, which I'm not sure what that is, but
I can't read the text on there. Somebody was smart to keep all these pamphlets and
yeah, they don't make the pamphlets anymore. They stopped doing that at
Oh,
like back 2 years ago, and everyone got upset about it. They're like, we want because people would just
yeah.
collect them,
Yeah.
that's okay. I'll print out the pamphlets and we'll make our own.
make their own pamphlets,
Because I'm sure they have
blackjack
like digital
and
maps or
hookers.
something. We'll make our own pamphlets with blackjack and hookers.
Now we're gonna move on. We're gonna jump all the way to HHN 10.
Okay.
This is where we get our first original icon. Does anyone want to try and guess that one?
Can I know off the bat? Is it Jack?
It is Jack.
Okay.
Yay!
Yay.
It is Jack the
Look at
Clown.
him. He's
Oh.
so cute. Eyebrows on point. Whatever they say now.
On fleek?
On fleek. What does fleek mean?
Fleek?
Anyway,
What does fleek
fleek.
mean?
People just say eyebrows on fleek, but I don't know what fleek means.
They're on fleek.
They be fleeking.
But yeah,
APF always be fleeking.
Jack was the icon of this year and the following year for HHN 11, even though he wasn't supposed to be. So I'm gonna talk. We'll talk about 10 as well. But I'm gonna talk about 11 real fast
Okay.
because 11 got well. Can you say it got screwed over by 9/11?
I mean, you can. I mean, a lot of things got messed. Like
Yeah,
a
I know,
lot
but
of
this is
things
like the most
changed.
least important thing
Yeah.
for when it comes to 9/11.
It's true. I mean, it's not like a tragedy, but it still got screwed up by it.
Yeah,
Essentially, like.
I think the funniest thing about that year is because it happened in September and
hmm
HHN starts in October. They hurried up
Yeah.
and switched all the blood out from red to I think it was green. They
Yeah.
went video game style for like Mortal Kombat. Like,
Yeah.
no, it's
Yeah.
fun. Everything's green. It's green blood.
No, I totally understand that, because it's like it's unprecedented. Like, how do we like we can't cancel this? We put too much
Yeah,
money into it.
and
So
we
how do we
can't stop.
save
We've
it?
already sold the tickets.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like the movies that come out around that time. It's like, ooh, how do we work around? How do we re-edit some of these city scenes
My
so it's
favorite
not?
one is obviously the Spider-Man one. Remember the trailer where he captures the helicopter in between the Twin Towers?
That's
They're
a
like, we
hundred.
can't do that commercial no more. Take that
Yep.
commercial down.
Yep.
But I would argue this is like the first HHN of us getting into traditional HHNs of how we know it now today,
hmm
as opposed to how it was. And I thought it was funny because in 1999, they always have taglines. HHN always has taglines. You got
Sorry,
really distracted by that map. What's on
I
there?
did. I saw a section for Midway Games. Hello?
He's a clown. It's a circus. They have midway games.
Oh wait, I'm thinking of the video game developer Midway. Is Midway Games a thing
Midway,
other than the actual
yes,
developer
yes.
named Midway Games?
The midway is an old term for like, like how you can win prizes like the bottle tosses and it's
Is
like when
that
you knock things down with like baseballs and shit like that's a midway.
Yo, I
Come
didn't
on
know
up, win
that.
a prize, win something for the lady,
Yeah,
shit like
actually, I
that.
just didn't know
That's a
that's what they were
midway.
called. When I'm thinking Midway, I'm thinking the video game developer.
No,
So,
that's where they got the name from.
whoa,
It's
that
like how
makes a lot
people
of
don't know where Fortnite comes from.
yeah.
Sorry, that's a long
Okay, no,
story.
that's great. I learned something today. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where nowadays they wouldn't probably do that because they already have a permanent midway where Simpsons is.
Mm-hmm.
So, Simpsons Land.
Yeah,
So before you
yeah,
go to ride, they
those
have all those
games.
games.
Yeah,
Those are all midway
absolutely.
games. So it's
Yeah,
sort of like the test of strength and all that shit
cool.
is there.
It's just one of those things where it's like, they don't, how do I say this? They don't announce it as this is the midway game section.
Mhm.
I always think of it, it's like, oh, these are like
Just the games.
the
Yeah,
Carney
Carney
games.
games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's just, that's fascinating.
Well,
We got to bring it.
Carney's not a good
It's
term.
not. That's why
So
I'm
they
like, what do
wouldn't
we
call
call it
themselves
now?
that.
Yeah. Is Carney not a good term?
Well, it's not like not a good term as in like it has like dark motives behind it. It's one of those things where it's kind of insulting, I would argue.
Okay.
You don't want to be a carny because carnies are like money grubbing and stuff
Well,
like
there's a
that.
Okay. stereotype. Let me
Yeah,
put it that way. Well,
stereotype.
carny just meant like, you're running the carnival. That's or
Yeah,
part of
but
the
it
carnival. But
slowly became a big thing.
because obviously there are like people who are carnies that would take advantage of people, run scams,
Yeah,
kind
and
of
stuff
thing.
like
And so
that.
there's just a reputation of like a carny is not somebody that you would trust that you would get the value for your money.
Exactly. Like when you go, like when you have like the girl who's half snake type shit. You're like, oh, that's a carny
Okay.
trick.
All
Where you'd
right.
be like, oh, I
Mhm.
paid $45 to this.
Yeah.
Shit.
Or like for a roller coaster that's like half operational and
Yeah,
like people
exactly.
died on it.
Is this is this roller coaster dangerous? It's called the Paralyzer. I fucking love that was from anyone remember Brickleberry? That's from the Brickleberry cartoon.
I
That's from
remember.
Comedy
No.
Central.
Yeah.
But anyways, sorry. They always have taglines for HHN. And 1999's one was called The Last Gasp. And I always feel like that's like the transition was like, oh, now we're getting to more modern HHNs because that was the last
Mhm.
of like the old school traditions.
Okay.
It's also the first one to have like multiple scare zones, quote unquote multiple scare zones, like official scare zones. And then we are going to move on to HHN 12. I'm always trying to remember what years these happened, but it's easy to remember because at least up until the pandemic, it was always the year. So 2002 was 12, 2003 was 13, so on and so forth. Oh, before we go, I want to show you all these promotional arts for Jack. Where this is, you can tell this is before 9/11 because they had Jack in full costume walking around like Orlando just fucking with shit. And
Mm.
like he would walk into places like news what's the story? He walked into the local news like production building holding a box just like full of like nasty shit on it that made like it was like wrapped in like a whole bunch of like duct tape. He's like, I have a
Mm.
package I have to deliver, and they just kind of took it with no questions asked.
Right. This is where you could like
Wow.
give like a fake cartoon bomb to
Yes,
somebody and be
exactly. It
like,
wouldn't be considered weird.
yeah, or like, or we have to call the police now.
Yeah, we have to call a bomb squad to come blow this up and make sure nothing bad's gonna happen. But now we're gonna move on to HHN 12, which is the first one to leave the studios and go on Islands of Adventure.
Okay.
Ooh.
Look at that Tim Curry friggin' Satan motherfucker.
Yeah,
Big ol'
Is that supposed to
horns.
be Legend?
I think
Satan?
so, if I'm correct. Or well, it's not Legend, but it's inspired by Legend.
Okay.
Like I
Legally
believe it is. Yeah,
distinct.
exactly. It's no, it's Bighorn Devil. It has nothing to do with this. Um,
Those are really big horns, like proportionate to his head.
I'm
It's
assuming they're hollow, so you don't
Yeah.
fucking
yeah.
trip wearing these.
It's
Because
also
he's
a
also a stilt walker. That's a guy
Oh,
on
ooh,
stilts.
okay.
okay. That's cool.
That's
That's
also a
cool.
very crispy photo of the Undertaker there.
That's
Undertaker?
not the
Is
Undertaker.
that not the character's
No,
name?
he's the caretaker.
Caretaker.
Yes,
Doom.
your time has come. I pointed this out for HHN 12 because it takes place in Iowa, and I thought that was neat.
Mhm.
I'm going to go on a tangent. I went down a rabbit hole. I found this, and I have to bring this up. Hard Rock Hotel held a special room package for this HHN. It cost, this is in 2002 money, $585 a night.
Oh my
What
god.
is in that package?
It includes a one night stay for two at the Hard Rock Hotel,
Okay.
two-person, one-night tickets to the event for
Okay,
Oh,
HHN.
okay.
okay, that makes sense.
This is still when HHN was still kind of cheap. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
say, guys,
Sure.
a souvenir photo.
Okay.
Okay.
You had to sign a waiver for this event
What?
for this hotel room.
Hell
What are we
yeah.
gonna do?
Okay, we're gonna get to that. You would go to your room, and including with your beds, they would also have coffins in the room.
Oh,
They would
cool.
hide fake body parts in the room.
Oh my gosh.
And what the like flyer says, other spooky stuff.
The idea of just like a team member in costume just messing with the guests, like slamming on the walls.
We're gonna get to that. Because that's one of the things is that hotel staff would dress up in character and come into your room at any point in the night just to come and scare and fuck with you throughout the whole night. And they had like a number where you could call to be like, I don't want to do this anymore. And they would just put you in a normal room.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Now, here's the thing that killed me.
Yeah.
They had special showers
Okay.
where they put
With
food coloring.
cameras.
No, food coloring in the water. So your shower water was
Oh.
always red.
And it will stain your
It was
skin
skin
and
forever.
Nope.
ah.
I'll draw the line there. You sneak into my room while I'm sleeping, sure. Don't stain me red.
It's just like, hey, I did the package at Hard Rock. No
Housekeeping would be
shit.
so mad because all the towels are pink now.
Exactly. All the bed sheets
I would hope for $585 they would get you specialty like black,
Yeah.
like
Oh.
towels or something like that.
or red
Yeah.
ones.
But yeah, imagine paying almost half. It's half $1,000
For 2000, you said 2002 money
It's
or?
2002 money.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
I found out about this and I was like, there's no way this is true. Like, in no fucking way. I ended up finding old articles from 2002 talking about it. I'm like, who the fuck did this? There's no photo source. I'm assuming no one was rich enough to
Well,
do
how
it.
would you get photos? With what? Your phone that doesn't exist in 2002?
2002. They had cameras in 2002,
I know,
Steph.
but who's gonna be
Get
like,
your Kodak and
yeah, I was gonna say, excuse me,
snap.
let me bring out the annoying, the way too bright flash.
Yeah.
Just overexposed
I mean,
pictures.
I was using disposable cameras in 2002.
But here's the thing, like, I have the disposable camera, right? I have the film develop. Those pictures are gonna get lost. You know what I mean? So it's like, I can't upload it anywhere. So it's in someone's family album that
Mm.
probably got lost to time. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
It's just a picture of Steph all red
yeah,
and upset that they keep waking her up in the middle of the night.
right. No, I take it back that you're right, that people did take pictures, but it's one of those things where it's like, I just don't think they survived. No, I mean the cat. I meant the photos, not the people.
Oh, okay. I was about to say. I was like, that's very dark.
Which is a little sad. I do agree with you where it's like I do wish there were photos of like experiences like
That's
that, or
kind
at
of like
least for the PR marketing stuff, because I'd
yeah.
imagine they would have to take photos for like commercials or
That'd
magazines.
be great if part of the package was somebody sneaks into your room while you're sleeping and takes photos of you while you're sleeping, and that's your souvenir photo.
it's it's you asleep. Even though this didn't come out yet, and it's a guy dressed as David S. Pumpkins just in the background.
And I'm here to scare the hell out of you.
But yeah, I just thought that was the wildest thing that that would be an option. And the worst part is it's in Islands of Adventure, so it's like nowhere near. Like if it was in studios, it would make more sense because Hard Rock's right there,
Hmm.
but it's so far away. But then also it doesn't make any sense because most of the time you're gonna be at the event till what, like midnight, one
Midnight.
o'clock.
Oh my
So then
god.
you try and go to sleep where they're gonna wake you up at like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning.
I would be actually mad if somebody did that.
You've just been walking around. You got like 10,000 steps because you've been
Yeah.
walking around this whole event,
Yeah.
and then they just keep waking you up.
It's probably a reason why they don't do it
I'm
now.
assuming that's just why no one did it.
Yeah. Because I feel like, well, I'm sorry, what year are we? Five? Year five? Year four?
This is
10,
10, just kidding.
no
Okay.
12,
12.
12,
12.
12.
You're 12.
Okay. So never mind. I was going to say, because I don't know, because there's obviously a die-hard community who
Mhm.
today, if there was a zany package like that, there's probably people who are like, yeah, we're going to do it. Especially, I guess, like on
Nowadays, there'd be
nowadays
social
for
influencers,
content. Yeah. But even like in that awkward period where like content creators weren't really
a
the
thing, but they
thing.
were still diehard like fans.
Right. There would be people like that who would just do it just for they can have that exclusive experience that no one else has.
That's actually one of the things I always liked about when I first got into HHN. I had to go
Hmm.
do like research for stuff.
Yeah.
I ended up finding a guy. I've told you about Dr. Jimmy. That remember the guy who was like he would do history videos on HHN,
Oh,
but with
right.
like no fucking editing.
Yeah.
Sam, in one of his videos, he stopped. It was a 50-minute video. He stops to take a phone call. He stands up from his chair and leaves, and it's just he could just watch the guy's dining room for like 25 minutes. He doesn't edit it out, and then he comes back and says like, "Sorry about that." So where was I?
Oh my god.
In like 480p crunch camera footage.
Ugh.
He's one of the real ones.
Yeah, he's been there forever. Moving on to now, we're gonna skip. We're gonna go to HHN 14.
Okay.
This is the one and only year where it took place in both parks.
Okay.
But they kind of cheat because they only use half of both parks,
Right.
which I thought was actually kind of funny. And this is the one time where Bill and Ted, obviously Islands of Adventure last year as well, where their show wasn't in the Wild West. It was over here. It was in, the giant stage in Toon Lagoon that they never use anything for, like special events. As you're transitioning from Marvel to Toon Lagoon, that
Oh,
big stage
right.
thing.
Yeah.
That's where they held that
Yes,
show.
yes.
Oh, before I also forget, Islands of Adventure, because it's IP run, they have Marvel and stuff like that.
Hmm.
They weren't allowed to have anything scary in Dr. Seuss in like Seuss Landing.
Yeah.
So the very first year, they played the music backwards in Seuss
Ooh.
Landing to make it creepy, and they had the Grinch just walking around. Not Jim Carrey's the Grinch, like just like the big head doesn't
Yeah.
talk
Yeah.
character, just walking around, and it was considered Grinch night because it was one of
Oh.
those things where it's like, oh.
Oh, fun.
And apparently, I guess the wife of Dr. Seuss didn't like that, so like, no, the Grinch can't walk
Yeah,
around.
no,
So
I
the
get
next
it.
year, they're like,
Yeah.
fine, fuck it.
No. I do like the idea of the Grinch because it's like explaining why everything's dark and everyone's
Yeah,
hiding. Yeah.
especially because there's the animated special of Halloween is Grinch night.
I didn't know that. Okay.
It's literally the weirdest thing about the Grinch is everyone knows the Christmas one, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously that's when he becomes happy. But there's so many stories of the Grinch, I guess, before he became happy.
There's Grinch lore.
And there's Grinch lore, and one of them is just called Grinch Night, where it's literally everybody hides in their house except for like one kid who doesn't know what's going on, and the Grinch comes down and just like starts fucking with everything.
Oh no.
But it's not one of those things where like there's a happy lesson. It's like no, the Grinch is just a dick. He comes down and does this once a year.
That's great. Well, that's the thing. Mrs. Seuss is trying to hide that evidence. It's like, no, 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 Grinch has always been a good guy.
He became a good guy on
Yeah.
Christmas. Jesus.
Jesus.
But yeah, I always thought that was really neat. And then obviously there wasn't a train there yet because Harry Potter's not there.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to walk through the back lot to get to this stuff.
I feel like I remember doing something like that one year.
Were you around in 2014? You weren't working there yet, were you?
Did you go to Grad Bash? Because
They
that's
do
how
that for that too.
they
Yeah.
connect the two
No, it
that
was
way.
no, I remember no, hold on. 2014. I did work at Universal in 2014.
Oh wow.
I think so. I started in 2008, I think.
Really? I didn't know you were working
Really?
there for
Well, this is
that.
Yeah.
2004 at this point.
Oh, this is
This is
2004?
2004.
Okay, never mind then.
So,
But at some point they've connected the parks again for HHN.
Sure.
I remember walking behind what's the roller coaster?
Rip Ride Rocket.
Rip Ride Rock. I remember
Well,
walking behind
you
Rip Ride
walk through
Rocket.
there now to get through some of the haunted houses.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
remember doing that.
They have a whole thing nowadays where they have 4 houses back there, so they kind of have like its own little like I don't want to say party zone because it's literally just where the lines are
Yeah.
and like some bathrooms, but it's like their holding area, which I always think is really neat.
Oh,
I wish one day they would do both parks again. I don't think they'll ever do it unless Epic takes over really well and they need more people in Iowa.
I'm going to assume no, just because the cost of having OPD covering both like
The whole
the
area would
whole
be a
area, because
whole
I
bunch.
believe there's like a rule for like depending on how much square meter or how many houses they need to have like a police officer present.
Mhm.
And I think just because they're so far apart, again, this is all speculation. I have no idea the actual rules, but I believe the theory is that they would have to employ more police officers and more coverage for those areas,
Mhm.
which would be more money.
A fuck ton of money, especially for off the clock police officers.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's
They
a
make
lot.
a lot off this.
Yeah. But again, I could be, talking out of my butt, and it's very much like, no, it's just inconvenient. Let's just have everything in one park. That way, we don't have to worry about having two sets of entrance operations for both Iowa
Well, no,
and
that's the thing. For this one,
uh-huh.
you only enter through Iowa. You can't
Oh,
enter through both parts of the park. You literally only go through
okay.
Iowa.
Okay.
So if you want to get to Hollow Knight's Horror Nights Nightmares, you
Mm-hmm.
had to walk through Iowa all the way around, all the way through, and then all the way to the back where it's over near
Interesting.
Disaster.
Perhaps it's mostly then they just don't want people to be walking, I guess, that
through
far.
back lot. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the only other thing.
I
It's like
don't.
some kind of logistical reason, I'm
They don't
sure.
really need to because there's
Hmm.
now so much space in Universal. They can fit all 10 of their houses
Yeah, for sure.
around there.
And I'm curious to know whether, since Rip Ride Rocket is no longer there,
Mhm.
if they're going to utilize that spot temporarily before they replace it with something else.
Well, they're putting the
For
Fast and Furious roller coaster there.
is that where that's
Yeah,
going?
yeah.
Oh,
If I'm
okay.
correct, I believe that's where that's
Okay.
going.
What's going on with the other Fast and Furious ride? Are they?
It's closing.
Oh, it's actually closing?
It's not. It's gonna close next year. It's gonna close
Oh,
like right before the roller coaster opens.
okay. Okay. All
So
right.
yeah,
That makes sense.
it's on its
'Cause
death's door.
I was gonna say it'd be funny if like both are operational. It's like, why are we still having this?
Oh well, it's fine. They're different rides.
They're
One's a roller coaster and one's like a simulator.
right, but the simulator has such poor attendance. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Where it's like
yeah.
there's no sense of keeping that thing alive.
I believe it's closed right now. Well, it will be closed soon for
Mm-hmm.
HHN 'cause usually they shut it down
They
for
do.
so they use that part for haunted houses.
Yep.
All right, we're going to move on to HHN 16.
All
So
right.
we're skipping 2 years. We're going to 2006.
Oh.
This is the very first anniversary year.
Oh,
So usually they do anniversary years on the five, so
okay. Right.
25, 30, 15, stuff like, well, not 15, but for some reason they did it on 16
I
for
like
some
that.
wild ass reason. It was
I
just
like that.
Sweet 16. And it's them returning to the studios. They returned to Universal Studios finally in 2006, and they stay there ever since. It
Okay.
doesn't move.
Ooh, I see people under the stairs made a return here.
Yeah, so yeah, that's a big thing with anniversary years. Usually they reintroduce stuff because Dungeon of Terror is there too at the top
Oh
right.
yeah, there is.
But yeah,
Awesome.
at least back in the day. Nowadays, it's kind of a 50-50 split. You get IP, you get anniversary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they brought everything back, but they put twists on it. So instead of being just a Dungeon of Terror, it was a storyteller's Dungeon of Terror. So it was her telling stories about stuff and all that.
Cool. Sorry, this is a bit of a side tangent. I'm
Yeah, go
just
for it.
looking at the map and I forgot Jaws took that entire chunk over there.
Yeah.
Where is that where Diagon
Yes.
okay, okay. I'm like trying to figure out like where in today's map. That's so interesting.
Yeah, that's all Diagon Alley now.
Wow. Wow.
They took that whole space.
All that water. They had to get rid of it.
Yeah. You can still get on the Jaws ride in Japan.
Oh.
It's the only place that still has that ride, which I think is just really funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought that was really fun. I think it's weird. I also think it's weird that they used Sweet 16
Mm-hmm.
as their option.
Oh yeah.
I guess because
Is
that
it
is a traditional thing for birthdays. That's usually a
yeah,
girl's thing, if I'm correct. I've
yeah.
never understood that as a concept.
That's a great question that spans
Because
across cultures and history.
I always thought that was like, always kind of like how bar mitzvahs are for boys
Well,
type deal.
everybody has their different thing. I know with Hispanic or
That's
at least
quinceañeras. But
yeah,
that's
for
also 16, correct?
no, 15.
That's 15.
Quince, yeah, that's 15. And it's for girls mostly pretty much. I don't think there's a boy version.
Hmm.
So like I guess every cuz it's if I understand correctly, I could be wrong. That's kind of like the passage into adulthood
Yeah.
is this the 15, 16 age range, so I'm
Yeah.
sure like everybody's got their own thing.
Mm.
But in America, I know there's like the Sweet 16, um, where it's just and I guess that's probably their celebration here, where it's like, oh, we've kind of now got a pattern, we've got the hang of it, we've now matured into like a permanent fixture,
Mm.
and which of course I'm reading far into it, but that's what I'm thinking, where it's like Sweet 16.
Yeah. Most
Because
definitely. It'd probably just be to be funny, be
hmm
cute.
Because I think it'll be really awkward to say it's the 16th anniversary. It doesn't really have
Well,
like
that's not how anniversaries work, anyways.
really,
Yeah, because it wouldn't be the 16th anniversary; it'd be the 15th
but that's what I'm
anniversary. Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
Like normally it's like 15th anniversary, and so
yeah,
16th anniversary would be super awkward.
yeah,
So that's probably why they leaned into the Sweet 16 because it's like, oh, people can not connect, but like you understand what a Sweet
yeah. You
16
get what
is.
the joke is,
Yeah.
and obviously because of that, there's the cake in the middle. They have the cake
Mm-hmm.
with 16 candles, which I
Yeah.
think is fun. But then literally, this was probably like the last big heavy icon year, which is
Mm-hmm.
funny because right afterwards we go into 17. Even though Jack's here, he's not the main draw.
Mm.
This is when we officially get Freddy, Jason, and
Ooh,
Leatherface.
yeah.
So for a long time, you know how when you
Win a
go,
car?
you can
Where
win
do
a
we?
car.
Oh, you can win a car.
You could win a car. I'm assuming that contest is really out of date.
You could also win a trip to Universal Studios.
So you know when you go to smaller haunts and they have like it's Michael Myers. And, they didn't pay for the rights of Michael Myers, they just used it.
Yeah.
HHN did that in the beginning, where they're like, nah, Jason's here, but don't let the cops know. This is the first year where
Really?
they officially paid for the rights so they could actually advertise Jason,
Okay.
Freddy, and Leatherface.
Cool.
And that actually resulted in, I believe that's New Line Cinema at this point, who owns
Oh.
all three of those
Yeah.
guys, where they're like, they kind of had, how in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, they're like, Daffy Duck and Donald Duck have to have the same screen time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was that type of deal. It was like they have to have equal screen time. So when they did like the opening event, there would be a bit where Freddy would come out for like, I don't know, like 15 seconds, do his thing, run back off stage. Jason would come out, do a thing for 15 seconds, run back off stage. Leatherface, 15 seconds, run back off stage. Wasn't that fun, everybody?
Oh. Because I was gonna say we don't usually get these three at
That
this
often.
at the
Yeah.
same time. Usually it's like one or the other.
This was a really big deal because not only is it this three, these are the three they put on like the posters,
Mm-hmm.
but there's also a bunch of other things like Dead Silence, which is remember that old puppet
Yeah.
ventriloquist movie? That's there. The Thing is there. Pretty much everything that New Line had at that time, they're like, we're going to use HHN as a big commercial, essentially.
Yeah.
So there was a smattering of original houses, but most of it was like, here's the icons.
Okay. Cool.
And we, not icons, but the originals. But we do get icons after 16, but they slowly start becoming less important. This is one of those things where it's like they're around, but they're not used as much in like promotional material, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Right. The Thing, assimilation.
And it's also where we started losing the giant facades outside. I like this facade. This is out near the archways.
Is the
Oh,
Ferris wheel in the arch itself?
Yes, you can walk under
Ooh,
it.
cool.
that is cool.
They don't do that anymore. Now they just hang the signs and they're like, there it is.
It's cheaper.
And that
Yeah.
familiar orange tone to
Mhm.
those 2000s Halloween pictures.
To mark where we're at in the timeline of recording this, they actually recently put up the lighting rigs outside for the lights for HHN this year.
Oh, okay.
And yes, that is a weird thing that HHN fans get excited for. So like it's happening, and they put up lighting rigs. But yes, that was 17, which is a really big year for IPs.
Look at all those cargo shorts.
Heck yeah.
And not a not
We're in
any.
Florida. It's hot as shit.
There's one guy with stripes in the corner. The SCP is still there.
The SCP loves Halloween Horror Nights. That's how it gets in without paying a ticket.
He sneaks in on people's shirts. We're moving on. We're going to jump a few years. We're now moving to 2012.
Okay.
Which is HHN 22. And this is
Alice Cooper.
Silent Hill.
this
I
is this
I
is the one that
remember.
Sam's at. Sam, you're in this at this HHN.
Yeah.
Because you were in Penn and Teller, correct?
So the first haunted house I did was actually The Thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Penn and Teller was year 2 that I did it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I remember, and I actually got to see Penn and Teller. Like, this is not by any means an interesting story. I'm sorry, but like, the memory is ingrained in my head. It was pouring rain outside, and it rained so much that HHN year, and I was outside for most of it, so I got soaked every year. And I remember we were extending the queue. This was out behind it was behind Men in Black. So we were extending the queue out on the utility road behind Men in Black.
That place floods a lot.
It
Yeah,
does.
and I was at the very end of the queue before very end of that road before it goes into the main side road behind the theme park.
Mhm.
And there's an Escalade out there, and I'm not paying attention much to it. And I pause and I look up, and giant ass Penn is
Penn,
there
it's
with his
still
umbrella.
fat Penn. It's still
Like,
really
oh,
big Penn.
yes,
Oh.
it was before he lost his
All the
weight.
weight.
And so like he's like over 6 feet tall.
Yeah,
And I
he's a
remember looking
very
up and I'm
tall
like,
man.
and then I see Teller getting out of the car, and he's got an assistant holding his umbrella. Penn's holding his own. I think Teller eventually took his own
How do you
umbrella.
find an assistant that's tall enough to hold an
Exactly.
umbrella for Penn?
And I just remember going, oh, and I just
Right this
they're the
way.
Tsar of Russia. I move out of the
That's
way.
cool.
And I just watched them go by. I'm like, okay. And I think this was like night 1 or 2 of the event.
Cool.
I always love there's a video where they're talking to a bunch of magicians. They have it's a talking head show where they have a bunch of magicians come in and talk.
Mm,
Have you ever seen those gang documentary videos where they'll black the person out?
yeah.
They did that for Teller. So it's Teller sitting there, it's just the shadow of Teller so he can talk. And I'm like, everyone knows what Teller looks like. Like, we know he talks, he just doesn't do it during the show. It always makes me laugh 'cause it looks like he's like witness protection.
Oh, but I remember the Silent Hill. I remember loving the Silent Hill house. Like, I didn't think, to be clear, I don't think any of the haunted houses at HHN are scary by any means.
Oh no, not at all.
But I just remember seeing Pyramid Head and thinking it was such a good costume. It
Nice.
was because he was in the center. He was like on a raised platform in the
Ooh,
center of the room,
Did they
and
actually have a buff guy playing?
yeah, and they got a buff guy playing him.
that's
It might have been a
cool.
muscle suit. I'm not sure, but they got him on stilts. He was tall as shit, dragging the cleaver around, and we walk around him. And I remember screaming up, "I was like, it's for babies!"
Oh, jeez.
I remember when they did in a few years after it, they did Alien versus Predator, and they needed a bunch of guys to be predators.
Oh yeah,
And I remember you could tell who the actual buff guy predators were and who they
Muscle
weren't.
suit
Yeah, the
ones.
muscle suits because you were like, oh, you're very felty looking, and then like that guy's glistening.
I know when we're you're very felty. I know you're probably gonna get to it, but when they did the Shining House,
Hmm.
they had to have a bunch of Jack Nicholsons in a house, but like
Yeah, they use
Jack Nicholson.
masks for that,
Yeah,
right?
well, no, I don't think they use masks. I think they use just very particular makeup to give them
The
give
big
them the
heads.
eyebrows and the
Mm.
wide forehead. But like Jack Nicholson's a pretty tall guy, and everyone that got to play him wasn't very tall. And I remember going through the house with my friend who was a makeup artist at HHN and for other events too. And she's a professional stylist and wig stylist and makeup person. And so she's used to doing HHN makeup. And I remember I don't think she did the makeup that year. And so I went through the house with her, and the first Jack Nicholson pops out.
Mhm.
And I just remember so distinctly, he pops out and she just goes, and just points and laughs at
Oh
him.
my gosh.
And I'm just sure completely deflates this guy's ego. And then
Oh.
afterwards, just like, I'm sorry, that was the worst makeup I've ever seen. I'm like, you didn't have to laugh in the guy's
Right into his
face.
face.
My God.
The as long as we're doing stories about this, the Stranger Things house, the second one they did.
Yeah.
I remember one of the guys who was playing one of the kids still had a goatee, and he turned. I went, "That motherfucker has a beard." Like, I guess you weren't supposed to see him from the front. Like, I guess supposed to be
Oh,
like from behind because he's like
yeah.
Yeah,
looking at like
yeah,
what's going on.
yeah.
Like he has a beard still.
It could have at least put a little bit of makeup to
Yeah,
hide
just
it,
like put it on, like make it look like skin. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, put some foundation on there. Yeah, especially if they're not going to see him from the front, but just, so you don't get like a side
A side
goatee.
side goatee.
Side goatee.
I remember the Alice Cooper house.
This is the one HHN that I'm actually upset I didn't get to go through
I
because I
th-
really wanted to go through all these like IP ones.
I think I was borrowed out to the Alice Cooper house for like one night
Hmm.
because I think we were near, is Penn and Teller next to Alice Cooper?
Ellen Taylor is D and Alice Cooper is C, so they're right next to each
Yeah,
other.
so I think I remember going into the Alice Cooper house for like one night, and because the very first room there was a stripper dancing,
Nice.
and
You
I
ain't getting that no more.
yeah, and I remember I was monitoring that room, and people kept trying to like leave money for her, and like
That's nice of them.
I had to report anytime somebody tried to touch her. I'm like,
Ah.
yeah.
Yeah. But the funniest thing about this with all the IPs here is this is also the first year we got The Walking Dead, which I don't think either of you guys watched The Walking
No, I
Dead.
watched The
Do you
Walking.
watch Walking Dead?
I watched The Walking Dead up until
When they killed Glenn.
no, to when they tried to kill Negan, he cut him across the throat. Sorry,
Hmm.
spoilers. They cut Negan's throat, but then he
This
did.
show that's been off the air
Yeah,
hasn't had a new episode
sorry.
in like three
I still want to say
years.
spoilers, but when he cuts the throat, but he doesn't kill him because
Yeah.
he's like Rick's trying to
Improve
have
himself.
mercy now
Yeah.
because he wants to emulate Carl. I'm like, no, Negan needs to die. And then they just kept dragging the show out. And I'm like, I don't care anymore.
I,
I
I
literally don't care.
I made it up until a little bit past that where the guys who wear the zombie masks and
Hmm.
hide with the zombies show
Yeah,
up. I'm like, this is neat, but then it just kept going. I'm like, I'm tired.
yeah.
I don't want to watch this
I
anymore.
just don't care.
But this is the very first Walking Dead
Back
house.
when I loved The Walking Dead and I loved the house.
This house, obviously, they switch it up for each season,
Yeah,
stuck around for the next 5 years.
Wow.
yeah.
And at least with like diehards, after a while, they started getting sick of it. They're like,
Mm.
okay, we get it. There's zombies. I think the biggest issue was in the Walking Dead houses, other than very specific things, they didn't have the characters. It was mostly the zombies. So every now and
I
they
don't
would have
remember.
some small character stuff, but it wasn't enough. It was mostly focused on the creatures of the zombies.
Yeah.
It's like no, people want to see the characters. Where the fuck is Rick?
I feel like I remember seeing a Rick, like a sheriff Rick,
Yeah,
like episode 1
yeah, but it'd be
Rick.
like only like in one room.
Yeah. Just comes up, raises the gun, steps back. Comes up, raises the gun, steps back.
And then this is also the year that they kind of HHN has always had weird lore
Mm-hmm.
where it does retcon itself a lot, but I think this is the year where they were trying to get like what part of the Legion are you? And they had like different both fictional and real life people. They're like, oh, this kind of like a zodiac sign, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
Where
I
the
don't
only ones
remember
that
this.
didn't have like any main focus was the Karazin, but those were just the zombies because
Mm.
Walking Dead was there. They're like, oh, they're zombies. Where I believe I can't remember there was like
I
a
would have wanted to be a sussy bacanoid. And that's my joke for the day.
I believe if there was like a survey you could take or it was like something to do with your birthday where they would
Oh,
tell you
okay.
what you were.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to say it was a survey that you can't get anymore.
Yeah, some kind of like personality test essentially.
Because of that, it had
Sorting hat.
the one scare zone. There was no scare zones. It was the whole thing. What they would do
Oh, what?
other than the zombies that hung out in New York,
Mm-hmm.
the scare zones would be the legions of horror and they would rotate. So they would move like from one section to the next slowly over the night. So
Ooh.
technically you could follow your legion throughout the whole night
Oh,
and like walk with them somewhat.
it's
I always thought
interesting.
that was really neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always thought that was really neat. Every now and then the Legion of Horror does pop up, like especially near anniversary years where they'll bring it up. But it's mostly gone onto the back burner now. I'm gonna move on to HHN 24. This is the first year I got to go. That's why it's important to me.
Okay.
There's there's nothing really majorly here. I would argue this is the big thing for this year when it comes to IPs is this is the first time Michael Myers Halloween was
I
official,
yeah, I remember that.
where they've had Michael before, but this is him officially there. And it also introduced the weird thing where Michael kept coming back every other year.
Mm.
So he was there at 24
Mm-hmm.
and then 26 and then 28.
Okay.
Like he kept taking breaks and then
Yeah,
coming back. And then obviously he came back at 31, but that's a weird thing because that's where the pandemic kind of threw stuff off. So it was like, would he have been at 30 at
Mm,
that point?
yeah. Yeah. No, the 30th one, and we'll get to
Makes
it.
more sense.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say the 30th one is the awkward year, I want to say, because I do remember it. It's like it was supposed to be a big anniversary thing.
That's the anniversary year's 30.
And I remember, with the pandemic and everything, like all the like house supervisors are like, we have such a short time frame to, because the thing is that as soon as HHN like ends, that's when they start planning for the next one, and
Yeah.
they start months in advance, like setting up all the stuff and training everybody, and it's like that period where we're sorry, I'm jumping ahead, but that period where, the lockdown and people couldn't go to property
Mhm.
gave everybody such short prep time that's why it didn't feel like the big anniversary year. But we'll get to that.
Well, that's because they canceled HHN that year. They only had two haunted houses. They did them during the daytime,
You're right. I'm sorry.
and that's the
It's
diet HHN,
You're correct. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the following year when they had that
the
full,
full thing.
yeah, the full thing.
Because they pretty much took 30, and instead of getting rid of it, they were like, we're just going to move it to the
Right,
following
right.
year.
I remember seeing the Rocky Horror tribute show.
I remember this is the first year I saw it, and I didn't know Rocky Horror. Like I didn't know the lore of Rocky Horror, like
Yeah.
people singing and getting up and dancing.
Hmm.
Not even just the cast, but like audience
Yeah,
participation.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Everyone's so
Yeah,
excited.
no, I wish I knew those lines in there. I remember going to the Dusk Till Dawn house, and I remember like I don't I don't know if it was like as you're going in or if it was somewhere in the middle of the house, but I remember that it was is it Cheech or Chong is in that movie?
Cheech.
Cheech. I
Yeah.
remember they had a Cheech character
Oh, the
there.
Barker.
The Barker, yeah.
Yeah.
But he couldn't say pussy.
Yes.
So what
Yes.
was he saying? Kitty?
Here's the thing. I did when I went, this was a year where I was like, I don't want to go through houses that I know I've seen.
Yeah.
I didn't make it through Dust Till Dawn or Dracula because I didn't see the show or the
Right.
movie at that point. But from what I could remember, yeah, it was like Kitty and stuff
Yeah, and
like
it's
that.
like
It
the
was
we got wet kitty, we got dry kitty, we got smelly kitty. And like He's not saying it right,
Yeah.
but I get it.
The funniest thing about that is the bar in Dust Till Dawn, at least in the movie. I'm pretty sure it's a TV show as well, because this is the TV show adaptation. Is the bar is called the Titty Twister,
Yeah.
but they weren't allowed to do that, so it's just called the Twister.
Yeah.
There's no titty attached to it.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, come down to the Twister. I believe one of his other taglines, if I remember reading correctly, he was like, "No one leaves unsatisfied," or something like that. It was always like cheesy shit like
Yeah.
that. I remember when we first watched Dust Till Dawn, and we got to
I
that
loved
scene,
it.
and it was like he's saying pussy a lot.
Yeah.
That was like 15 pussies in less than 10
Some
seconds.
Robert Rodriguez shit right there.
Oh yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah, yeah, it's great.
But yeah, I just think that's funny because that's my first year going.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah,
And then
this
we're
is
going to move
yours.
on to my last slide because I'm going to 27.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Because big important thing here, this is when we lost Bill and Ted.
Aw.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to make a third movie with weird Keanu Reeves without his beard. So they had to end the show and they had a farewell tour, which I always think is really sad.
That's why they stopped the show, is because.
Yeah, because they didn't want it like conflict, I guess, synergy, I guess.
All right.
Because I think here's the thing: there's no official answer to why that happened, but a lot of people predict it was one of those things like, oh, the movie, because literally they canceled it right as they announced the movie was coming out the following year. So they're like, well, now they're older in the series of films. Are we going to make the characters older, or are they going to stay with like the '90s, '80s Bill and Ted?
Interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, I always think that's kind of sad. It ran for 26 years.
Wow. That's a long running show.
It literally started the second HHN.
Some attractions don't even last that long. That's
Exactly.
crazy.
To be fair, it's a different show every year,
Oh,
but
sure, but it's kind of like the same, I guess, like what you call it,
crew,
container.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's like when you have a grill and you refuse to clean it, so you have to say, no, we don't clean it. You get the juices off the first thing. You just
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
going.
it enhances the flavor. You just kind of push it around a
Yeah,
bit. Yeah.
exactly. But yeah, that's even though we stopped at 27
Yeah.
there, we are already made it all the way up to 35. 35 is going to be showing up
It's
this
crazy.
year, which is nuts.
Yeah.
Can I continue to be negative and repeat to you guys what my least favorite house ever was? Can you guys remember what my least favorite house is? I've talked about it.
You did, and I'm trying to
I'm trying to
remember.
remember.
I will say there is a hint, and it's sitting on my bookcase over there.
Oh, it was the Last of Us
The
house.
Last of Us.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
It was so disappointing. I was.
Yeah.
I
I think.
remember when we went that year, I was like, Sam's gonna love. I went to the house
Yeah.
before we went together. I'm like, she's gonna love this house. We got through. I'm like, so what did you think? She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh,
Eh.
never mind.
Like the part that killed it for me is like we get to the end
Mhm.
and there's two mannequins of Ellie and Joel
Yeah,
like
the
walking off
actors.
into the sunset and like voiceover clips of Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson. I'm just like, those are very clearly like Macy's department store mannequins. Like this was not a good like the costumes looked great. That's
Mhm.
nice, but
Yeah.
like oh my god, I was so disappointed.
Yeah.
I-
Because there's a certain way to tell a story through a house, and it's difficult, right,
Yeah.
to do it through a haunted house, but there's a good way to do it, and I don't think they executed at all. I'm not asking for like the synopsis of the game or the
No,
show, but to
absolutely not.
me, it's like if it weren't for the fact that the oh my gosh, the clicker designs obviously are different than if you replace the clicker designs with like just regular zombies,
It would feel
it would have
the
felt like
same.
a generic zombie thing. It didn't
The
feel
only time
like
it felt different was when like the bloaters, because
mm,
those are really. Did I ever tell you my mom made one of them sad?
No.
what?
The bloater came out and it tried to scare her
Uh-huh.
to the point that it walked out of its like little boo hole section,
Oh
like it
wow.
came fully out.
Yeah.
And my mom was so focused talking to me because she was trying to point out Joel who was up in like the top shooting.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, he's up there. That's cool. And then we both looked at the bloater and he kind of went like, like he placed the hands down and then just kind of shuffled back. I'm like, sorry, we were distracted.
No, like
We didn't mean it.
I feel like, and this is just my opinion, but I feel like HHN has lost sight of trying to be scary, and they're just way more about presentation
Yeah,
now.
presentation and IPs to
To
get the young
yeah,
folk in.
to the point like you know every scare before it's about to happen when you
Yeah.
walk through these houses. You see the boo holes, you know something's gonna jump out of there, so you're already looking at it, and then it comes out and you're like, ah, sorry, I already saw you scare somebody 5 people
Yeah, the
ago.
Congo lines have gotten really
The
bad.
Congo lines, yeah, and like you know, like the door up ahead, it's slightly open.
Mhm.
Something's gonna jump out of
Yeah.
there. Like, and it's in a room full of mannequins. Some of you are real. I can kind of tell which ones it is already. This is
They ruined the magic for Sam. Sam knows how the tricks are done.
yeah,
It's the issue of pacing because you can have like a by the numbers house, but like if it's
Has really good pacing, you'll be
really
fine.
good pacing, you can get away with just the basic stuff.
yeah,
Like
this
it's
Petrified Forest does it very well.
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. But also like they don't have the
They're
same.
celebrating their 13th year this year.
Really?
So
Ooh.
all
Okay.
their houses are going to be 13 themed.
Okay.
Oh, that's
So
gonna
we'll
be
probably look
cool.
into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look into it. We're gonna go.
Yeah.
Favorite haunted house from HHM.
Oh, that's tough. I don't know.
I think my favorite was I don't remember what it's called, but the Wharf. Was that I think it was called the Wharf?
Oh, Dead Man's Wharf.
Dead Man's Wharf.
Yes. That was a
Again,
very beautiful house.
it was beautiful. Like I remember seeing something like a woman up on a hill, and I
Yes.
was like, "Oh, that's
My
gorgeous."
favorite thing about that was they had the big lighthouse in there. And
Yeah.
when the lighthouse would hit her, she would glow and she would
Yeah.
like scream
It
like a
was a
siren. It was
very
very
well done
nice.
house. Again, I wasn't scared, but I found it very entertaining, very good aesthetic.
I'd say I'm more entertained from most houses than anything else.
Yeah.
My personal favorite, and it was the one, I forget which like specific year it was, but it was the one where the first Stranger House, uh,
Stranger Things house.
sorry, Stranger Things house, debuted, and it was, I think it was called Patient Zero, or
Oh,
something
Dead
Zero.
Exposure.
Dead
Dead Exposure,
Exposure,
Patient
that's it.
Zero.
That one was my favorite just
It was
because
dark
it
as shit.
was dark and they used that to their advantage, and it was very urban.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of like specifically like subway urban environments. A
No.
lot of it understandably is like the traditional like haunted castle, haunted house, you know.
It's not very often you end up in like a New York subway.
Yeah, and what's great about it is that obviously they do the thing, and this is one of my favorite things, where it's like you see a bunch of mannequins, but one of them is a real person.
I do like
And
that.
they do this thing where, granted, I'm pretty sure there's like, hey, if you have epilepsy, please do not go in
Yeah,
there.
there's a lot of
A lot of
flashing
flashing
lights.
lights, but they do that to their advantage
Well,
so
you
that
know
they
what
can
the
confuse you, so that when they flash the lights like very quickly, so that your eyes don't have time to adjust, so that when the mannequins do move, really freaky.
if I remember correctly, the
Uh-huh.
reason why it's like that is in storyline, the character you're supposed to be like following the footsteps of
Yeah.
is blind, if I'm correct. So that's why it's always dark and the
Oh.
flashing lights or something.
Okay, that's the part I definitely missed because it definitely did feel like a
If I remember
progression
correctly.
of
Because I
story.
believe the infection blinds you or something like
Okay.
that in that
Okay.
story. And they're like a cameraman or something, and so they're taking photos, and that's
Yeah,
why the
yeah.
flashes happen, or
Can we
something weird like
can we
that.
touch on that? I think it was Petrified Forest that did that trail one year where it was
Oh, with the
dark.
vampires?
It was completely dark, and then they would just do one bright floodlight for like
Yes.
a few seconds, for a
Mm-hmm.
second, and then it'd go dark, and then you were just blind all over
I
again.
found a
Yeah.
cell phone in that haunted house.
Yes, you
Oh
did.
And I
yeah.
walked through the whole haunted house holding this phone, like, I don't know who this belongs to. Until we got to the end and there was a guy asking for his phone, like, hey, I found this. I found it in 2 seconds of bright light. I looked down, like, oh, that light's bright. Oh, look, a cell phone. And they were calling on it, like, shit.
That was really
Yeah,
fortunate because I mean that
yeah.
could have been lost
For
forever.
a while, at least until
Yeah.
the event ended
They
and they
cleaned
turned
it
the
up.
lights on.
Yeah.
Can I tell you the? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So I don't know if it's my favorite haunted house of all time, but I'll give you my one from last year.
Okay.
There's a house called Gulkin, which is the original house.
Oh
I
Macaulay
yeah.
dragged
Culkin.
Steph through it. It
It was the
is
Viking one, right?
no, well,
Oh.
Vikings, but not really. It was it's what's the word for it? Like Wicker Man horror.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what is that called?
Cultist horror.
Kind of, because it's kind of also the same thing as like Midsummer and stuff like that, where
Yeah,
it's
like daytime cultist
yeah.
horror.
There's a word for it that I can't remember, but it was like that, and it was so. I like the idea of like woodsy horror that isn't like just stuck in the woods American horror. This is like
Mm-hmm.
European. Is that the word I'm looking for? I have to look up the name of this type of horror now. I don't know how to spell correctly.
What are you trying to
What did
spell? EXIT.
Folk. It's called folk horror.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah, there you
Folk
go.
horror, and I like folk horror a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's most definitely more artsy horror, but
Sure.
it was very good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Can I tell you the one effect that they have in houses, and I've told you this before, that I cannot do
Mhm.
is the spinning tunnel. I can't. I
Mm.
have to keep my head
Yeah.
down because I will throw the fuck up
Yeah.
I
everywhere.
always had an idea for a haunted house where it was gonna be like it would be like a cheesy like 60s 70s alien abduction haunted house.
That's fun.
But that would be the scene. Like you would walk through part of the house normally, and then it'd be a bit where they beam you up, and you have to walk through that, and then
Mm-hmm.
it becomes like all chrome and scary with like the little green men attacking you.
That'd be fun,
Okay.
like
I always thought
fun.
that would be a fun thing because I feel like that makes sense. Like, oh, you're getting beamed up. That's why it's all twirly.
Oh, that's a cool
Yeah,
idea. I like that. I did enjoy the Killer Clown's house. That was that same year.
that one had a spinning tunnel
It
in it.
did, yeah, but it was very much like, it was like cheeky and whimsical in a weird way, but like not.
Have you ever watched the movie?
No, I
We should
haven't.
sit down and watch the movie. It's fun.
Okay,
It's good
cool,
cheese.
cool. I like that. Yeah, I appreciate the cheesy house. I did have one very, very good experience, and not because the house itself did anything, like it's like something to stand out.
Mhm.
But because I remember going in and there was no wait time for this house, and I was the only one in the house, and they took advantage of that. And it was Halloween 4. So it was obviously Mike Myers. It's like there's multiple people
It's
in the
specifically Mike
house.
Myers. It's not Michael Myers. It's Mike Myers.
Sorry, Michael
This is
Myers.
groovy, baby, as he
Sorry,
comes out with his
sorry,
like.
Michael Myers, my bad. And obviously there's multiple scare actors, and obviously they know I'm the only one in the house, so they'll time their scares
To
perfectly
be
that
with you.
they'll spook me straight into the next
Yes.
guy who will spook me, and it's almost like a chain
Well,
reaction where I'm like,
that's the work. That's
uh-huh.
how. So that's how haunted houses are supposed to be. They're supposed to scare you forward instead of
Right.
backwards. So yeah, it keeps pushing you.
And that's what I'm saying, where like I don't think the issue is so much that the scares are predictable, because again, it's just multiple guys dressed like the same guy, right? It's the fact that I think it's just overcrowding. I
Yeah.
think if they really time it out, which I know
Or
it's
they
a
should open both parks and have it just spread out.
yeah, honestly, now that you say that, I think that probably would be the best solution, because you don't want everybody kind of form a conglomerate into
Yeah,
one space, because that really what causes like
an
high wait
enormous crowd
times
essentially.
and just issues in general. And like, sure, maybe there will be more logistical issues, but I mean, you run two theme parks during the day,
Yeah, they can figure
like
that
you can
out.
figure it out at night. Like it's not
While
a difficult
while getting
problem.
too far away from the subject, speaking about houses you're going in by yourself. Does anyone remember Run Blood, Sweat, and Fears at HHN 25?
I don't remember the names and what goes on in them.
This was an anniversary house, but it was based off of The Running Man, essentially. It was The
Okay.
Running Man, but as a haunted house.
I think I vaguely remember some
It
details of
was
that.
pouring down rain, and no one wanted to walk in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up going to Run Blood, Sweat, and Fears, and there was no line. I'm like, there's no line. I'm drenched. I'm like, I'm gonna walk through this house.
Sure.
The first room is this long hallway with two characters on both sides and a chain link fence in between you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And they were, they do the generic, oh, we're gonna get this one, we're gonna get you, and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But
yeah.
because it's only me, they're hitting the chains and they're following me up the hallway. And I'm
Oh.
like, why are they being so mean? I'm like, oh fuck, there's no one else in here. And like I'm in this house alone. And then that's also the same time I realized I couldn't actually I could get lost in the house because there was a bit where this chick came out with a chainsaw and like, oh, that was scary. And I'm like, I have to keep going this hallway. She's in front of me. And I just stood there looking at her and she's like, that way. I'm like, oh, sorry. So I'm gonna have to keep going because I just didn't know where to go after a while. And
Right.
I'm like, I'm lost.
I do appreciate the scare actors who like, all right, let me help you out, because that does happen also in like Petrified and a couple
Mm.
other scares where it's like, all right, it's this way,
Yeah,
like
we're gonna
go,
try and guide you through.
come on, there you go. But it's always a great feeling when you are kind of like either in a small group or by yourself, and there's a lot more interaction with the scare actors.
Yes.
And I do like it when they follow you because it's like, oh,
You weren't there that
how far?
year.
Where's your boundary? Where are you going?
When we went to Busch Gardens, I
Mm.
think that was us, where the guy followed us all the way from like one scare zone all the way to almost the
Yeah.
front of the park.
Yeah.
And he
Whoa.
had some big thing like he was dragging like on a chain. So we could hear him dragging like this metal behind us. Was it a shovel or was it like
I
a
don't
box on a
remember.
chain? And we're like, is he still following us? And we turn around, like, he's still there. And it wasn't like he was right behind us. He was like a good like maybe like a good 10 feet behind us. So he's like, he's following us, right? He's got to be following us. And we just kept hearing the chain behind us.
Oh, I love that because it's like not too close, but also not far enough to
That's
go.
concerning.
Yeah.
if I'm going to tell that story, I'll tell one more quick story about Busch Gardens.
Sure.
They had a scare zone where it was just people with chainsaws. It was kind of a more generic scare zone.
Yeah.
They had this little old lady in a wheelchair.
Yes.
Me and my mom thought they just left this poor innocent old lady in like one of the rental wheelchairs, and we're like, who the fuck would be so mean to leave this poor old woman in the scare zone? People are running around with chainsaws. We walk over just to see what's going on. Like, you okay, huh? Because she's sitting there. She pulls out a little chainsaw and slowly starts pulling herself forward on her legs. Like, come here. And I'm like, oh, she's part of the scare zone.
She's part of it. She's part of it.
She's in on it. So, yeah, I like haunted houses. HHN obviously is the big one around here, but in general, I like going to just haunts in general. Maybe one day we'll talk about more indie haunts. I think I could most definitely get another
Yeah.
thing out of this.
And for the next episode, I'll be doing the history of Rock the Universe.
I used to hate Rock the Universe.
I've always hated Rock the Universe. I've never liked it.
Security told me once that Rock the Universe was one of the not the worst events in terms of like they're just doing their job, right? But how do I say this? The most incidents would be
yes.
occurring in
Yes.
Rock the Universe. I'm like, oh, interesting. I thought it would be Grad Bash, and like, nope, Rock the Universe by a mile. I'm
The
like,
one thing I
wow.
used to hate about Rock the Universe is it used to be the week or 2 weeks before HHN, before they moved it to a new thing. It used to be before HHN. So the kids would go, and if they had like stuff set up, they would fuck with it. They would like break stuff and like draw on it, and it's like, we know you don't like this stuff, but stop breaking the property.
Rock the Universe to me was the worst event because they were just everybody who attends those events are just such assholes.
Yeah.
They're so
But
repressed.
the grad batch, which are the high schoolers, right?
Yes.
Grad batch, I found that they were, relatively well behaved.
Yeah.
It was grad adventure.
When you
They
get
were the
middle schoolers,
nightmare.
yeah.
They were nightmare children. Those were the middle schoolers. They were
Yeah.
awful. But no, Rock the Universe is definitely the worst behaved crowd that ever attends these things.
And we've come full circle from talking about hell houses to how scary Rock the Universe kids are. And that is it. You are now free from the trap. Thank you for joining us again at the Ramble About podcast. I've been Dirk Dogma.
Stellar Sam.
Steph.
And we will see you next time, or hear you next time.
We'll
hear
talk
us.
at you next time.
Yes, we'll ramble at you some more.
Bye.
Bye.